Did you know the Colosseum was once filled with water for mock naval battles, or that it had a retractable roof operated by sailors to protect spectators from the sun? This massive arena, built nearly 2,000 years ago, could hold over 50,000 people. It saw brutal gladiator fights, exotic animal hunts, and even public executions. But here's the craziest part. Its construction was partly funded by treasures stolen from Jerusalem. Today, it's a symbol of Rome, but its past is far bloodier than you might think. So, how did this incredible structure come to be? Let's uncover its fascinating history. It all started around 70 AD when Emperor Vespasian decided to give the Roman people a grand arena for entertainment. Before this, a huge palace called the Golden House stood on that spot, built by the unpopular Emperor Nero after a massive fire in 64 AD. Vespasian wanted to erase Nero's memory and return the land to the people, so he began constructing the Colosseum. To fund this massive project, Vespasian used treasures taken during the Roman siege of Jerusalem. Tens of thousands of Jewish slaves were brought to Rome to help build the Colosseum, which took about 10 years to complete. After Vespasian's death, his son Titus finished the construction in 80 AD. The Colosseum was an architectural wonder. Made of concrete and stone, it had an oval shape, measuring 189 meters long, 156 meters wide, and 50 meters tall. It could hold up to 80,000 spectators, eager to watch gladiator battles, animal hunts, and other events. To manage these large crowds, the Colosseum featured 80 entrances, allowing people to enter and exit quickly. One of its most impressive features was the velarium, a massive retractable awning that provided shade for spectators. Sailors from the Roman Navy operated this awning, skillfully adjusting it to protect people from the sun. This combination of thoughtful design and engineering made the Colosseum a true marvel of its time. When the Colosseum opened in 80 AD, Rome threw the biggest, bloodiest party in history. Emperor Titus celebrated with 100 days of non-stop games. Imagine over 3 months of battles, animal hunts, and jaw-dropping spectacles. Thousands of gladiators fought to the death, exotic beasts roared in fury, and the ground was soaked in blood. It was all free for the Roman people, a show of power, wealth, and sheer brutality. This was Rome at its most extreme, where life and death were a spectacle, and the crowd decided your fate with a simple thumbs up or thumbs down. Gladiator fights were the main attraction. These warriors weren't volunteers. Most were slaves, prisoners of war, or criminals forced to fight. They trained in brutal gladiator schools, learning how to wield swords, tridents, and even nets. Some managed to become superstars, with fans carving their names into the walls. If a gladiator survived long enough, he could earn his freedom, but most weren't so lucky. Some historians estimate that up to 400,000 gladiators died in the arenas of Rome. But it wasn't just men fighting. The Colosseum became a deadly zoo. Lions, tigers, elephants, and even rhinos were shipped from Africa and the Middle East. These animals weren't just for display, they were pitted against each other in savage fights or sent to tear apart unarmed prisoners. Sometimes hunters called venators faced off against them with spears, showing off their skill. Imagine standing in the crowd as a lion pounced on a helpless man, the screams echoing through the massive arena. The Romans called it entertainment. And then, there were the mock naval battles. Yes, the Colosseum could flood like a giant bathtub. Historians still debate how often it happened, but some believe that the entire arena floor was filled with water to recreate famous sea battles. Small ships with armed fighters clashed, sinking into the depths while the crowd roared. It was Rome's way of showing that no battlefield, even the ocean, was beyond its control. But beneath the Colosseum's massive arena lay the Hypogeum, a hidden world bustling with activity. The underground maze of tunnels and cages was where gladiators and wild animals waited before their dramatic appearances above. Imagine the tension as fighters prepared for battle and the roars of lions and tigers echoed through the chambers. To create thrilling surprises, the Romans designed clever systems of elevators and trapdoors. These lifts, powered by teams of slaves turning large wooden wheels called capstans, could hoist heavy animals and scenery up to the arena floor. At the right moment, trapdoors would swing open and a ferocious beast or armored gladiator would suddenly appear, astonishing the crowd. The Colosseum's designer also mastered crowd control. With seating for around 50,000 spectators, they needed a way to manage the masses efficiently. They built 80 numbered entrances, ensuring people could find their seats quickly. Where you sat depended on your social status. The emperor and his guests had the best seats, closest to the action. Senators and other elites sat nearby, enjoying prime views. Wealthy citizens occupied the middle sections, while women and the poor were seated in the upper levels, farthest from the arena. This strict arrangement not only reflected Roman society's hierarchy, but also helped maintain order during events. After centuries of thrilling spectacles, the Colosseum's grandeur began to fade as the Roman Empire weakened. Funding for the elaborate games dwindled, and by the 5th century, gladiator fights had mostly ended. But it was Emperor Honorius who banned these brutal combats in 399 AD, and Emperor Valentinian III who abolished them entirely in 438 AD. But the last recorded animal hunts took place in 523 AD, marking the end of an era. Nature, too, took its toll on the monumental structure. Devastating earthquakes in the 5th and 14th centuries shook the Colosseum to its core, causing massive sections to collapse. The southern side crumbled, leaving a jagged scar that still marks the building today. With each tremor, the mighty amphitheater's glory seemed to slip further into the past. But perhaps the most shocking chapter in the Colosseum story is how it was slowly cannibalized by the city it once entertained. During the Middle Ages, as Rome evolved, the Colosseum became a convenient quarry. Its grand stones were stripped away to construct new churches and palaces, erasing pieces of history with each chisel strike. Even the iron clamps that held the massive stones together were pried out, leaving pockmarks that mar its facade to this day. It's estimated that over 300 tons of iron were removed, melted down, and repurposed, further accelerating the Colosseum's decline. Despite the ravages of time, nature, and human intervention, the Colosseum still stands and endures as a testament to Rome's indomitable spirit. Its weathered arches and battle-scarred walls whisper tales of glory, tragedy, and resilience, captivating all who stand in its shadow. Today, the Colosseum stands not only as a monument to ancient Rome's grandeur, but also as a symbol of resilience and cultural significance. Each year, millions of visitors from around the world walk through its ancient arches, eager to connect with history. Guided tours offer a glimpse into the past, allowing people to envision the epic battles and spectacles that once took place within its walls. To preserve this iconic structure, extensive restoration efforts have been ongoing. Teams of archaeologists, restorers, architects, and engineers work diligently to maintain the Colosseum's integrity, ensuring that future generations can continue to marvel at its grandeur. The Colosseum has been showcased in numerous films, such as the 2000 movie Gladiator, which brought the ancient arena's history to life for modern audiences. Additionally, the Colosseum serves as a backdrop for various events, including concerts and performances, blending the ancient with the contemporary. However, not all modern uses are without controversy. Proposals to host mock gladiator battles have sparked debates about preserving the site's dignity versus promoting interactive historical experiences. But have you ever wondered what it would be like to stand in the arena where the gladiators once fought? If you enjoyed this journey through history, don't forget to like and subscribe to Mr. History for more fascinating stories. We'll see you in the next video.